Sunday night out of California, but with a 3-game sweep in their overhead bin. Deanna Jennings continued her sensational season, Aaron, driving in 4 runs in the season series finale.
Yeah, leadoff for this team, a captain for this squad. 5 of their hitters hitting above 400. And of course, Jennings leading that charge. 40 hits, 8th in D1 right now. She's a senior that has a lot to say at the top of this order.
For the Gamecocks, no travel involved in their weekend, but no wins either. Swept by the reigning national champion, Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, again, a leadoff and a captain that you got to highlight for this group. It's Quincy Lilio. Been tested. I think that this team really has relied on her at the top of this order. In 68 at-bats, only striking out 3 times. It really just doesn't get much better than that as a leadoff.
She and that starting lineup will look to provide offense for the starting pitcher here in the circle tonight. Neely Lamb, we wondered what coach would go with tonight. She goes with Neely Lamb, the junior right-hander, former transfer from Charleston Southern.
I'm not shocked by this call. I think you and I were taking bets on who we may see in the circle. It is Neely Lamb. We're wondering if we may see Jory Hurd, the fellow senior.
Look at this Blue Devils lineup. Amita Vega swinging a hot bat, 469. The top 5 batters in the order, all hitting at least 400. As that one should nearly reaches the seats as Lilio nearly tracked that one down. Deanna Jennings hitting 471. Just a incredible career at Duke.
Of speed at the top with Jennings too. 5 stolen bases. You can see that infield just pinching inside the baseline, trying to keep her honest at the plate.
She lofts that one to right field, and that will drop. That is to the wall. Jennings has some speed. Smelling third. She will sit on second base with her 7th double of the season. Great start for the Blue Devils.
I'm going to start keeping tallies on the puns. Smelling, sitting. Man, the infield pinching in on this bat. Well, she proves that she's got power too. A stand-up double to start things off. We highlighted her at the top of this broadcast. She is such a stud, a true triple threat at the start of this order.
Team captain for the first time in her career this year as well. Brings up Amita Vega in the 2-hole and hitting 469. Hit 400 in the series against Cal. Riding a 6-game hit streak into tonight's festivities. 9 hits in those 6 games. That one slapped to those 6 games. That one slapped to third. Davis up with it, and Jennings will get to third. And they're puzzled here as to why was the foot off the base.
Yeah, Vega makes her way back to first. There's no question, there's no challenge. We're trying to understand what exactly transpired. This is off the end of the bat, a little squibbler to third base.
Well, they're going to review that. That was closer than anticipated.
Yeah, no kidding.
The ruling on the field is that the runner is safe. South Carolina is challenging this call.
South Carolina 4-10 in coaches' challenges this season.
Vega also with 5 stolen bases on the year, so speed back to back at the top of this order. I would describe this as a bang play. It's closer than bang bang. It happens exactly at the right time, same time.
A bang play.
Wow. You know, the call on the field is safe at first, so there would have to be enough evidence on that look to overturn this call. I don't know that there is enough there definitively to switch this call.
Certainly an early challenge here by South Carolina. And it's a big one, too. I mean, getting that first out critical. 2 batters on could be with Jessica Oakland, who's also hitting 400 on the season.
Yeah, this really would put Duke.
I thought it was out with the naked eye.
It's a good look. I also get to see the safety bag there. That's a new addition to our sport. I know one that's been a hot topic for all of us is trying to see that extra base on the foul side.
Take a look at head coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard, who is in her second season with South Carolina. Interesting conversation with her, talking about the need to get back on track after last weekend's sweep at the hands of Texas. 3 straight tournament appearances as head coach. Last couple coming at Charlotte. Amina Vega hoping she gets to stand on first base a little while longer.
I'm waiting for another pun. Are they really chewing on this review?
They are. Showing good patience here.
Yeah, this would put Duke in a really nice spot. If this call stands, runners at first and third, no outs on the board. They're in the meat of this order with Oakland then stepping in. Oakland, 2 home runs on the year.
After review, the call on the field stands. South Carolina has 1 challenge remaining.
Wow. So 2 on and nobody out on what looked like a fairly harmless ground ball to third. And Jessica Oakland, a couple of home runs to her name, 6 extra base hits. Now at the plate, hitting .410 on the season. Showing bunt. Throw down to second base, and now we've got Vega scampering back to first. She will, as Jennings does not give way at third. And now she wants to get in that rundown. They're trying to get Jennings home, and now she's back at first again.
You got to tip your cap to South Carolina's defense, staying alert. They are heads up. They are not taking the bait here. This is a play.
It's still going on.
I mean, Matt, this is something that you practice tirelessly.
Vega is not on first base. She is waiting for them to throw this softball. What happens now here in this stare down? Now the umpire calls timeout, says no one's moved. Throw the ball back to the pitcher. That's
a standoff.
That's almost some Little League stuff. We're just waiting for something to happen. The umpire taking charge. Coach Young asking for some help there. She's probably saying, look, she wasn't on the base. She's waiting for something to happen. And no doubt that's something that they're practicing.
So you can read her lips there. She says that's up for them to figure out, not to force the ball back into the circle. Could see Shelton and Anderson working together in that middle infield, communicating, trying to work back Vega to first base and not give up that run at third.
Cameron Ellis and the home plate umpire doing some early work here. 0-1 here to Oakland. And Oakland drives that one to left. No drama there. As Jennings scores, it's 1-0 Duke. We talked to Coach Young about what she likes about this team. Offense was her first word.
Yeah, easy to see. There is just such a well-oiled machine here through 3 batters. Clean on the base paths. They put pressure on with speed. Elite swings early in counts, and already a quick meeting from head coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard in the circle. Trouble in paradise early for Neely Lamb. Just mentioned Lamb, the junior, transfer over from Charleston Southern. She really leveled it up last year as a sophomore. Increased her approach this year against righties. She was a lefty specialist, really, hammering against left-handed swingers, but due to the exit of quite a bit of arms last season, has had to change the arsenal a bit.
Opponent's hitting only 161 against her this season. It's just a matter of limiting those free bases. Well, everything's been earned here so far today in this first inning. That brings up Layla Lamar. Waves through that one for a strike. Layla Lamar, the transfer from Florida in her first season with Duke. Went 1 for 9 over the weekend at Cal with a run batted in and 2 runs scored. The 0-1.
Lamar at the plate, the daughter of Marissa Young. She was pretty candid with us,
yes,
talking about what it's like to coach her daughter.
Rips that one foul. Interesting for her to say that nothing was going to be handed to her. She had to earn it. When you're the coach's kid, all eyes are on you, right? Okay, you going to get any favoritism? Of course not. Not at this level.
She said it could be tough. Sure. It could be tough to be a coach's kid. She's got to outshine that plus some to scratch that starting lineup.
In the dirt. Yeah, tie goes to the non-daughter, right?
Yeah.
You really need to exceed other players, and she has done that. Hitting .406, 7 home runs. That's second on the team. Still nobody out here in the first. That one is skied on the infield. Rhodey making the catch, infield fly. And Lamar is retired for the first out.
What a year that Tyrena Jones, the grad seniors, had 8 home runs. Stepping into the box. Transfer from Purdue. She's been a fantastic addition to this team.
Jones rushes that one foul. Taylor Whitehead, the third base coach for Duke. She really hit the ground running this season, did Tyrena Jones, in her first season with Duke. Began the year on an 18-game hit streak. She's hit safely in 22 of 24 games. In fact, Sunday against Cal was only the second time this year she hadn't gotten a hit. Outside, 1-1.
It's interesting hearing Coach Young just talk about her success specifically at the plate. You think a coach would talk about mechanics and what works with the bat in her hand, but
that one right back up the box. They had her shaded perfectly. Back home and sliding in after the throw to first was awry. Vega will score, and into second base is Jones. They had a tailor-made double play. The throw went high at first, and heads up base running from Vega, scoring from second.
this is a shot up the middle of the field. And you have to also notice there, Shelton shaded up the middle, scouting Tyrena Jones perfectly. As you mentioned, this was tailor-made for a double play, but because of the speed and the pressure on the base paths, you can cause and wreak havoc defensively. And we have seen it on full display here against South Carolina. Middle of the infield again, shaded to the pull side for KK Mathis.
KK Mathis waves through that one. The throw from short was fine. It was just the blazing speed that we saw there from Jones.
Yeah, you can see Anderson and Shelton playing on the left side of second base. Shelton still moving around.
Swing and a miss, and finally the inning ends. A sigh there from Neely Lamb. It could have been worse. The first 3 reach base on hits. It's 2-0 Duke. Beautiful night for softball. Duke with a 2-0 lead, and we'll see if that could be enough for Cassidy Kerr through 2 complete games over the weekend, including a no-hitter against Cal.
I was just about to say that no-hitter, so impressive, senior, and the numbers speak for themselves. To me, I always look at that walk to K ratio. She's almost got double the strikeouts as she does free bags. Really controlled arm from the left side.
Quincy Lelio stepping in, the redshirt senior. Former transfer from Oklahoma as she steps in. Lelio, Shelton, and Rhodey, your top 3 hitters. We talked to Coach Chastain Woodard about what do you want to figure out here? She's like, well, kind of the middle and the bottom of the order. You just got to figure out who are going to be our go-to players as she's rotated a couple of people within that lineup. 0-2 count here to the leadoff Lelio. Lelio, second. Vega, 1 out. We mentioned that Duke has 5 players hitting 400 or better. South Carolina has 2. It's the top 2 players in the order. Lelio followed by Carly Shelton in her 3rd season with the Gamecocks.
Lefty on lefty matchup here early for Curd.
One-0 to Shelton. Shelton skies this one to center field. Deanna Jennings, team captain, puts that one away. A few pitches in and 2 outs.
This is what Curd did against Cal. He swept Cal 12 Ks that weekend. You know, talking to Marissa Young, she said this is the best that Cassidy Curd has ever looked. Senior season, she's been a monster both up and down in the zone. Just elite control this season so far.
That was low for ball 1. As we see Ariana Rhodey at the plate. 6 home runs on the year. 4th season of college softball. Transfer from Charlotte. Came over with Coach Chastain Woodard. She really hit the ground running in her 1st season with South Carolina last year. Coming over from Charlotte. 55 runs batted in. 3rd all-time in a single season with South Carolina. Asked Coach Chastain Woodard, why was she able to just make such a seamless transition? She said had a lot of success behind her, right? Been through a lot.
She's a tough kid, too. She's got a hockey background. Mentally, she just never gets rattled. Actually, I can remember last year she had worn a face mask due to a collision that she had with Blankenship, broke her nose, took her out of that Texas Tech series, and she just never skipped a beat. She's tough as nails.
And draws the walk, Ariana Rhodey. Great at drawing walks for South Carolina. 16th among active players in walks per game, and nearly 1 per game. There's her 1. And with 2 outs, Tori Ensley strides to the plate. And there for a strike, Tori Ensley 2 for 8 on the weekend against Texas. Was in the 3-hole last week, in the 4-hole here tonight. Ground ball to second. Vega. 1 reaches base. No one comes home. South Carolina and Duke. It's 2-0 Blue Devils. Magic Aaron Miller, anyone who's taken a cross-country flight or even a red-eye can sympathize with what Duke went through. They traveled to Berkeley, 2,400 miles, played 3 games, got the sweep, checked those wins at the airline, and then got back on the plane. Overnight flight, got home early, slept for about 4 hours, and the coach just said, hey, we gotta get these kids up and acclimate. We got a game in the next day.
All that on spring break and it's daylight savings?
Yeah, the daylight savings time added to the cross-country flight. traveling west to east. Not ideal.
How is that still? Haven't we moved on from that?
We need
to
get rid of it. I am with you. Stafford flies this one to right field and falls right in front of Kai Byers. 4th hit of the night for Duke. We're in the 2nd inning. Sun on its way to setting here. You see some of the shadows casting from right field, the press box. Certainly play some tricks on you as we see Coach Marissa Young.
2nd straight inning, we've seen the leadoff on. You know, talking offensively to Coach Young, she said that this is the most offensive firepower she's had since stepping into this program. Top to bottom of the order, we mentioned just the consistency at the top half of this order. 5 of their starting 9 above 400. But it's the speed, it's the gap-to-gap shots.
That one nearly caught by the catcher, Winters, as we see the pinch runner, Ariel Kruger, now in for Stafford. You mentioned the batting. My goodness.
Yeah, 5th in the ACC. It's got to feel pretty good as a head coach to be able to rely on those types of numbers.
Irie Rodriguez puts it down. Little double clutch there from Tate Davis, but able to throw out Rodriguez. Does the job as Kruger gets to second base.
There really wasn't a portion of this team that she wasn't confident in. She struggled to even come up with something.
You asked her, what are your strengths? She goes, offense and defense.
Yeah. And honestly, even when she talked about pitching, she's like, all of our arms really can go 7 innings. She just maybe wanted to see them take away some of those free passes from the past few weeks.
Adeline Matthews back up the box and under the glove of Anderson, holding at 3rd. And now, rounding first but heading back to first, is Adeline Matthews, who has had a terrific start to her career as a freshman. Went 2 for 3 on Sunday at Cal with a home run and a double, and puts this one under the glove of Anderson.
There's been some good swings against Neely Lamb. She really has been too tight, I think, over the wide of the plate against Duke. And it's hard not to think that maybe South Carolina is trying to figure out how long the leash is. When do we make a change here?
That was quite the
Smooth.
pun. Deanna Jennings. It is Bark in the Park night here. Carolina Softball Stadium. Almost more disappointed in myself that I didn't mention the leash pun before you.
Well, there's the meeting. You could see their infield was pinched in. This is exactly what we saw with Jennings leading off in the first. They are testing her speed. Remember, she did have that leadoff double. She blasted that right center gap. It feels suffocating right now if you're South Carolina through 2 innings. Duke has, it feels like they just came out of the gate hot.
Duke certainly is playing like the team that has won 6 straight games.
Yeah.
A win tonight would be Duke's 100th road win in program history.
You know, we mentioned the must-win nature of this midweek, which you don't get to say a lot about midweeks. But it is that. South Carolina sitting at 24. The rankings, Duke sitting at 25. You know, Duke's had some notable ranked wins against A&M and LSU. They played tough, one against Oklahoma State, who's receiving some votes. South Carolina's had some tough games as well, ranked opponents, but they have not squeaked a W against one.
The very dangerous Deanna Jennings now at the plate. Adeline Matthews at first. Pinch runner Ariel Kruger at 3rd. Got Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard having a conversation with the home plate umpire, Cameron Ellison.
I think they're going to make a change here. They are.
Not the start that Neely Lamb was hoping for. 5 hits through an inning and a 1/3. And will be responsible for the 2 runners on base.
It is Hurd.
Jory Hurd, the senior right-hander, will come on in relief. We'll tell you about her coming up. High leverage moment early in the game.
ESPN app.
Matt Schick, Aaron Miller here at South Carolina. South Carolina already in a 2-0 hole as we now have a pitching change. Jory Hurd coming in. She was terrific this past weekend. It's been a real bright spot this year.
Yeah, senior for this team. Really shines against righties. She was a righty specialist last year. When they had a full staff, they had a lot of arms that could specialize. It's a different year this year. Mentioned Neely Lamb having to step into a little bit of a different arsenal in the circle, and the same goes for Jory Hurd.
No earned runs in 7 of her last 8 appearances as Jennings squares. Did not offer and heads to first on the walk. So no damage done yet. Force outs everywhere, but now the bases are loaded for Amina Vega. Entered the day hitting .469, added to that with a single. She scored in the first. In there for a strike.
You can tell when Jory Hurd is in her zone because she's going to induce a lot of swing and misses. She's got that high velo, tight spin, especially against righties. Strong on that glove side.
Right on the outside corner for a strike.
It's beautiful off speed.
Coach Chastain Woodard saying she is the best I've seen since I've known her. The senior in the circle, the 0-2.
This is where she's had to get good, is against lefties. She has, for the majority of her career, been a righty specialist. Matchups that are heavy right-handed swingers is when she gets the ball.
To right field, coming on to make the catch is Byers. Tagging from third is Kruger. She gets in there with the high throw and heading into third. After that sac fly is Matthews. She gets the job done.
A nice piece of hitting from Vega. She's knowing that she's got to get this to the green. It's the airmail from Byers in right field. Completely throws this sky high, misses any chance of a cutoff. And against a team like Duke, any errant throw, they're going to take an extra 60 feet.
So now instead of 1 in scoring position, there are 2. With 2 outs as they each took an extra base. Jessica Oakland had an RBI single her first time out. Spent her first 2 seasons at Minnesota. With 14 home runs as a freshman. She packs a pop. 2-0. Two-time All Big Ten first teamer. Big Ten Player of the Year as a sophomore a couple of seasons ago. Two and one. You can get out of this inning allowing just 1 run. That would be a big win for the Gamecocks. Just misses 3-1. A 3-1 to Jessica Oakland. Oakland to third. Nice play by Davis to first. 2 are left on base. 1 run does score. Duke adding to its ledger. 3-0. South Carolina needs some runs. Carolina would fall to UCLA, and Coach Chastain Woodard was very open with the fact that they had another game with UCLA out west this year, had another multiple run lead, and she felt it was deja vu again. Ground ball to third right off the mitts of Jones at third, and a base runner for South Carolina in the form of Tate Davis.
I think that was one of the tougher heartbreaks for me to watch in postseason, especially with her senior Sam Gress in the circle. From an analysis standpoint, you could have pulled that apart a million different ways, but what a heartbreak for her and her squad.
They led 4-0 against UCLA this year in the 7th and lost that one as well. I'm sure Coach would rather us not talk about it. Alyssa Hovermail in her 14th start of the season. Designated player as Davis is on first. Two 2-0 now from Curd. Overmail was 1 for 3 with an RBI in the weekend against Texas. That one is low, 3-0. Cassidy Curd getting a conversation there from Rodriguez.
Bottom half of this order, I think the part for South Carolina to continue to figure out, at least that was the expression from Chastain Woodard. She feels really good, top 3-4 in this order, but wants to see a little bit more consistency from this bottom half.
And specifically from that DP spot where Hovermail resides, getting the opportunity here tonight. The 3-0 from Curd. That one is upstairs and a 4-pitch walk. So an error and a walk, couple of free bases offered up by Duke, bringing up Lexi Winters.
This is one of those situations that South Carolina is going to have to capitalize on, especially with senior and captain stepping into the box. Lexi Winters, she was a transfer from Charlotte coming over with Chastain Woodard. She's a hometown hero, too, from South Carolina. Was a bat girl for this team. Grew up here, big moment for her.
Dakota Potter is going to pinch run at first, but not before a conversation near the dugout, taking advantage of the conversation in the circle. So Potter, the freshman, will pinch run at first. Tate Davis remains at second, and Lexi Winters now at the plate in her second season with South Carolina. As you mentioned, the transfer from Charlotte. Struggled to start the year. Coach says mentally she's really coming around. This is a big spot here. Nobody out, down 3-0. Another ball from Curd.
You're just seeing defense. Jennings in center, shaded towards right. A deep Vega at second base.
Winters flares that one to right. On to make the catch is Lamar. Throws that one to third. No one advances, one out.
To me, this is something as a hitter you got to pay attention to. From an offensive strategy, if you are Winters, you're trying to hit behind the runner. And Curd knows that. She's a lefty that's going to cut on the opposite side of the plate. You see the outfield shaded to that opposite side, the foul line. That's almost where if you're Lexi Winters, you can cheat a little bit. Set yourself up to go oppo with some power.
Shea Anderson looks at a strike. Runners in scoring position here in SEC play. Well, that was over the weekend. 0-63 against Texas. 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position against Texas. And 0 for 2 today. Shea Anderson did not get a hit over the weekend, was 0 for 8. Trying to come through here on a 1-1 count with 2 on. Anderson to third, off the glove of the third baseman Jones. The throw is high, and the bases are loaded. So a ball went off her glove into left field for the first batter, and this one goes off her glove, and the bases are juiced.
Yeah, Jones cutting across the 5-6 hole. Almost was going to recover this. What a tough toss out of the web of that glove.
They're scoring that a hit. A little hometown cooking here as Anderson reaches, but now the 9-hole hitter, Kai Byers. Kai Byers, who in right field here, mailed that throw, allowing a couple of runners to advance. Chance at redemption here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Trying to turn this lineup over. In there for a strike, 0-2.
It's about probably the best pitch she's going to see this at bat. Let her high. Cuts right back over into the middle of that strike zone.
The 0-2 from Cassidy Kurd.
How about this freshman moment? Bases juiced.
A freshman from Mechanicsville, Virginia, trying to get this offensive engine started. The 1-2. First strikeout of the day for Kurd comes in a big spot.
You know that guy has to feel like a deep exhale. That's the right approach if you're Kurd. Go right at the freshman. Make her earn it. Takes 2 strikes early. Gets her with the swing through for the first K.
Back to the top of the order, Quincy Lelio, who grounded out her first time up. This one is sky deep to right field. Right fielder Lamar going back and makes the catch at the track. That ball kept carrying and carrying. And Layla Lamar catches it up against the wall.
Biggest catch of the day. Lamar saving what almost was a game.
Matt Schick, Aaron Miller, Duke and South Carolina. Top 25 matchup. Duke winners of 6 straight. South Carolina looking to stop a 3-game skid. Look at these ACC storylines. Big sweep there for Stanford out of Pittsburgh. 22-5, outscoring them there. Clemson 2 of 3 to clinch their series as well. Now it's interesting, Aaron. We get to this time of year, and there's still 2 months left in the season.
Yeah.
Yet this is now that as you start conference play, where you really want to start hitting your stride a little bit. Lamar, that one just loops over the second baseman, Shelton. And the 6th hit of the night for Duke. They're just finding all the spots.
Gosh. They have looked good in that leadoff. They've had a leadoff on the past 3 innings now.
Should mention a new right fielder for South Carolina is Nia McKnight. Coming in for Byers. Rita Jones looks at that one for a ball, 2-0. Jones pops this one. We'll see if this reaches the seats. It'll be close. First baseman Rhodey comes over to make the catch for the out. But getting back to that conversation with these coaches and talking to Ashley Chastain Woodard about South Carolina. As we look at KK Mathis at the plate, grounding foul. You can sense that there's no panic, there's no anxiousness about the team, but she did admit we've got to come around here. We've gotten opportunities to play quad 1 games. Now we have to win these quad one games. This would certainly be one of those. And it's tough coming off such a successful season in year one. The last thing she wants to do is compare the teams and think, all right, this team was here last year and this year. They're very different, but the expectations are still sky high.
Yeah, the temperature check with her early was that she's working hard to try and keep morale up. They've been tested. They've had a challenging preseason. So it feels like the squad has played in like 5 super regionals up until this point. I mean, they really have been tested on the road. Jory Hurd getting her first strikeout of the day. A little mix of off speed and going back upstairs for the swing through. And reminder, this is a squad that started 0-3 against OU last season.
KK Mathis was into the fielder's choice.
She quickly reminded us of that on the call. She said, look, we started conference play on our heels last year. We ended up going deep into postseason play. There is no panic, to your point, but that they truly are at an impasse. They can see the challenge to this point either as a threat or an opportunity.
Jayla Stafford now at the plate. So Tyrena Jones did strike out. We thought she had popped up to third. They ruled that it hit the net, which is why we're
like,
here crossing things out on the score.
Like, wait, are we about to make 4 outs this inning?
They batted out of, no, they didn't. They figured it out. Ball hit the net according to the umpire. So Jones, instead of the pop out, gets the strikeout. Then Mathis with the fielder's choice. Now Stafford, who had a base hit and scored in the second inning, now at the plate. Jayla Stafford has a hit in 10 of her last 11 games. The 1-2. KK Mathis remains at first. Jayla Stafford, 5 for her last 10, staying alive here at the plate.
That mid-50 changeup has looked really good out of the hand of Hurd. We've seen her throw it in some different counts, both when she's ahead and behind. The confidence she's got in that pitch, definitely there.
The 1-2 from Hurd. Swing and a miss. Joey Hurd, after the leadoff batter got on for the 3rd consecutive inning, they're left stranded.
The off-speed work, and so is that curveball. That's the 2nd K for Joey Hurd.
Hurd getting ahead of Ariana Rhodey. Her 176th game played of softball for Rhodey. Got her 50th career home run recently. 6th among active NCAA players in career home runs. 2-1.
Mentioned the walks for Rhodey. This is an athlete that doesn't see a lot of pitches cross the wide of that strike zone. A lot of teams pitch around this bat.
Two.
Big time off speed. You could see how much in front of that pitch Rhodey was. She didn't take much off of that, just about 7-8 miles an hour.
The 2-2 from Hurd to Rhodey. Rhodey to third, off the glove again of Jones. Fires across the diamond for the out. Third time is the charm for Jones at third, who's had a couple of balls bounce off her glove.
Jones has been tested over there. This one off the heel, but she makes the barehanded rebound for the out at first base. My goodness.
It's like enough already. Hit it somewhere else. Tori Ensley at the plate, grounded out in her first at-bat. Gonna get a lot of action over there at third. Jones's night might have just begun. We'll talk to Marissa Young in her 9th season as Duke's head coach, the only head coach in Duke's program history. Off to another fine start this year. We'll talk to her between this next inning. Ensley hammers this one to center field, and that's going to go off the wall. Jennings up with it, fires it into second base, and a double for Ensley, her 6th of the season.
She knew exactly off the bat. Well struck. That was not a bad pitch out of the hand of Curd either. That's a curveball low at the knee. Goes down, fishes for that contact. Bounces off the warning track. That's a heck of a piece of hitting by Ensley.
Well, we mentioned the struggles that South Carolina had over the weekend with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 6 with 2 outs with runners in scoring position. 2 outs here, and scampering some extra feet is Tori Ensley now down to third. We'll see how they score that. Might be a wild pitch, you would anticipate.
That one bouncing right in front of Rodriguez.
Now Coach Young will discuss things with Cassidy Curd.
You know, this is a 3-run deficit right now for South Carolina, but you and I talked even just last inning when South Carolina had bases loaded, how important just squeaking 1 run across is. There's a lot of ball game left. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and for South Carolina, it feels like if they can just open the gates, chip away.
Runs at a premium tonight after being outscored 12-4 over the weekend against Texas. Chance here to put one home here in the bottom of the 3rd, trailing 3-0. Tate Davis, the 5-hole hitter, in there for a strike. Tate Davis starting to have some more power. Coach says she's going to start squaring the ball up more as the season goes along. Be a great start here. Outside and high, 2-1. Coach said just trying not to get her to swing out of the strike zone, but make sure she's free to swing when she really wants to. So certainly a fine line to walk. It's 2-1 here to Davis.
Yeah, there's definitely pop in that bat. 3 home runs on the year, 21 RBI. Leads the team in doubles. As you mentioned, though, it's all about the selection of pitches. This is a bat that can chase out of the zone at times. She'll have to stay sharp with 2 strikes here.
2-2 here to Tate Davis. To the backstop. Sliding in head first. First run of the game is Ensley. Take him any way you can get it. 2 wild pitches here, aiding South Carolina's offense.
The only change I've seen from Curd is that her misses are big. The first 2 innings, when she missed, she's still getting some of those nibbles, those bites around the strike zone, but the last half inning really has been a little bit more wild.
That'll take some of the pressure off of Davis here with 2 outs and a full count. One run across. Tate Davis trying to get on base with 2 outs. The 3-2. Out of play. You got to think with Bark in the Park night, with foul balls, those foul balls would be hard to come by humans. Youngster grabbing that one. 8th pitch of the at-bat for Tate Davis. Ground ball to short. Oakland up with it. 1 run does come home. Couple of wild pitches aiding South Carolina. It's 3-1 Duke. We'll talk to Duke's head coach coming up. Maybe the second time you get a little more well adjusted. Separated by a couple of weeks. Yeah, took that red eye Sunday night. A few hours of sleep, getting out to practice, and came out swinging. 6 hits through 3 innings for Duke. 8, 9, and 1 due up here for Duke.
There's that off speed early for Hurd. We've seen it in all counts now.
This one is drilled to left field. Will it stay fair? It will not. Kyrie Rodriguez almost had her 4th home run of the season. Foul by 3 feet.
She giggled on the way back to home plate. Yeah, this one was laced. It was more like a line drive out of this ballpark. Just missed by about 4 or 5 feet. For Jory Hurd, that's just a long strike. That too gives you a little bit of an idea of timing. She was timing up that off speed on the first strike she saw, and then a little bit ahead of that high strike.
Just misses on the corner. There was a dog in the stands trying to call the strike call. For home plate umpire Cam Ellison. I don't know how you focus with dogs in the park when they are barking when you're trying to hit. That one bounced from Hurd, and a good scoop there from Rudy. Goodness. Little sheepish smile there from Jody Hurd. Jory, watch this. Just a dirt ball.
Yeah, she disrupted the timing there of Rodriguez. That was off the end of the bat. That is the power of that off speed, 55 miles an hour. There it is again.
Adeline Matthews at the plate. Talented freshman, had a single her first time up. This one to right. McKnight with it. 2 down. SEC men's basketball tournament begins tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. First and second round games, as well as the late quarterfinal matchups. Our first round coverage begins at noon Eastern with the SEC Now crew. All of that right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Deanna Jennings back up at the plate, and another ground ball to the pitcher. This time, let's just run it over and a little flip. No ground ball from her there, but she capitalizes on the ground ball to herself. How about an 8-pitch inning for her? That's more like it. We'll talk to Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard next. Tonight, Calvin, who is one of her 2 dogs that she currently has at home with her husband, Coach Robert Woodard, who is the head coach of the Charlotte 49ers baseball team. There's a look at Calvin. They're also fostering a dog, Lois. She said Calvin did not want to come out here tonight. Lois absolutely would have, and would have barked the entire evening. Sky to shallow left. As Hovermail pops out. Saw that picture there with the Woodards. Tip of the cap to Coach Woodard of the Charlotte baseball team, off to a great start. 11-4 start, their best start since 2011. They met there at Charlotte.
Yeah.
They've had to find ways to make sure they can get together, see each other, which they did over the weekend.
It is a love story I have fallen in love with following. Every time I get a chance to chat with her, I always get a life update. They own a house in Charlotte. They own a house here in Columbia. Obviously having to plan out schedules of when to drive and see each other, since they both are active and on the road at the same time, but it works.
There they are.
Such a cool story.
The two met back in 2019 when Ashley joined the Niners as the head coach of the Charlotte softball team, just at the same time as Robert became the head coach of the baseball team. He was terrific with North Carolina, a couple of World Series appearances, 34-5 in his college career on the mound. He left as the all-time winningest pitcher in Tar Heel history. 3-0 in there for a strike to winner.
Getting a little behind here early. Again, we saw the wild pitches that allowed South Carolina to score their first run last inning. There's their split.
Ground ball to third. There it is again to Jones. Up with it, not in time. Tyrena Jones has had a night over there at third.
She's been tested. You know, what I can see up here from the booth is she's just getting caught on the heels. See, she's moving backwards instead of really getting that momentum to find the right hop. It's eating her up off the heel of the glove.
In between hops, do you create space? Do you go get it?
Exactly.
Just kind of ate her up there. And now, one out, one on here for Shea Anderson.
I wanted to talk. I stayed out of the infield. I stayed in the outfield for a reason. That hot corner I wanted nothing to do with. So I've got a lot of respect for her being a brick wall over there.
The 0-1. Shea Anderson, they love her defense at short. They say anything we get from her offensively is a bonus. Hitting 286, got a hit tonight. Excuse me, she better run this one out. The throw from third, not in time. Anderson looked like she thought that was going to go foul, and had she hesitated any longer, Jones would have had her at first.
Thank goodness she was on her horse. 2 for 2. This one probably not as pretty as she would have liked, but it gets the job done. And Jones getting tested again over there at third. This one forcing her to come up. Crossbody throw on the run.
Nia McKnight will stride to the plate here as she replaces Kai Byers. And so you've had two balls that have not left the infield. Have resulted in 2 base runners with 1 out. And a golden opportunity here for South Carolina. Nia McKnight, sophomore right fielder, went 0 for 5 in the weekend against Texas. Very fast player. See if she can make something happen here on the base paths. Last year played in 40 games, primarily as a pinch runner. In there for a strike, 1-1.
Couple home runs on the year. 4 doubles. She's scratching her way into this lineup. Sometimes these athletes scare me, where you know they're teetering on that line of busting into the starting order. So every opportunity they have comes with a little bit extra fire. McKnight, one of those.
Two and two.
Bottom of the strike zone, it's a really good location for Curd, especially cutting across the plate, that curveball into the knee of McKnight.
Big pitch here from Cassidy Curd. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Curd fans McKnight. Her second of the night.
Sets her up perfectly for this pitch. It's the same break that we saw in the called strike at the knees, but she elevates it. Let her high. Barrel just under that pitch.
Top of the order, Quincy Lelio, who has not reached base tonight. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
Lelio almost went yard back in the second. That towering fly ball to right field. Bases were loaded. Would have changed the trajectory of this game.
Does not have a home run this season. Definitely has power. That one is slugged to center, but Jennings under it. And two more left on base. 6 total for South Carolina. Cassidy Curd, thanking her defense, gets out of the jam. Your game summary here at the Park night. Duke showing a little more bite, 3-1 lead over South Carolina. South Carolina has left 6 runners on base, a few of them in scoring position, 1 for 6 RISP. And Jory Hurd, though, has come on and replaced her teammate Neely Lamb and done a fine job. For Duke, Amina Vega, the 2-hole hitter. Singled in the first inning. That one fouled away. One for one with a sacrifice. One of the star players here on this Duke team. A doubles machine. Looks at the ball 1 and 2. Amina Vega, the senior second baseman out of Florida, set the program's doubles record with an RBI double this past weekend. 56 career doubles.
Wow.
It's a mark that stood for just 4 years.
This is a tough out, too, in this 2-hole. Gamer, really gritty. A good eye at the plate, just challenges the zone no matter what arm she's facing.
Tonight, her 202nd start at Duke. Vega looks at a ball, 2 and 2.
Especially that pitch.
Yeah.
That's a pitch that makes you salivate at the plate. It's very hard to lay off of, but her seniority, her experience, she's got a very well-trained eye.
Coach Young loves the firepower from this offense. Wouldn't mind a few more runs. Vega to center. Ensley, that one's off the wall. We said she's a doubles machine. Add it to the number. Her 57th career double at Duke.
Ensley played this perfectly off the wall, too. But the speed, the power, she knew it out of the box. There was absolutely no stopping her rounding first base. It's a good one-hop throw into second and no play made. just looks easy. When you watch her play, her swing, her aggressiveness, she doesn't press. There's no panic.
What's the conversation there in the circle with her?
I think this is just reminding her that we're all right. Take a breather. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap to a good swing, and that is Vega at the plate. Well struck. It can be easy to get off the rails here, and specifically, you mentioned just the meaning of that run that we saw South Carolina squeak across. And that really came off of that 1-2-3 inning that Jory Hurd gave them in the fourth.
Need to limit the damage here. 3-1 lead. Leadoff batter on for the fourth time tonight for Duke. Amina Vega with that double. Jessica Oakland with an RBI single in the first inning. Played for her father Mike for 4 years at high school in California. Your dad played baseball in the Rockies organization. The 2-0. Nice off speed there from Hurd. Jessica Oakland looking for her 9th multi-hit game of the season. Wants to drive in a second run. That one flared to right, not a play.
A redshirt junior that came on late this year, came back in full form. Took her a bit to settle in at the early part of the season, but has owned that 3-hole nicely.
Oakland lofts it to left. Lelio going back, tracks it down. Tagging at second is Vega, and she's in there. A slightly more accurate throw might have gotten Vega at third, but a nice play there and left by Lelio.
The base running continues to be such a shining spot for Duke. Forces South Carolina to make perfect throws.
Look at the read.
Make perfect decisions.
Wow.
And I'm going to be critical of that approach. I personally think that Lelio, if she's on her horse, instead of slowly basket catching that over the shoulder, if she can sprint behind that ball and get momentum behind that throw, potentially an out there at third base.
And that's the thing when facing Duke, you have to anticipate that there's going to be a tag on every fly ball. Layla Lamar, 2-0. Layla Lamar spent her freshman season at Florida in the SEC. Foul back. Layla Lamar with 7 home runs to her name this season.
Infield inside the base pass.
The 2-1 to Lamar. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Mentioned the pop Lamar has. She once hit the home run cycle in high school. That one is skied to center field. Ensley giving chase. Ensley at the track, reaches up, makes the catch, but it does the job as Vega creating that run by tagging at second on the previous fly ball. Tags at third. 60 feet later is 4-1.
Base running just continues to be such an important pillar of this squad. And that's what generated that run. It's textbook hitting, textbook base running. You get the sense that Duke just doesn't wait for things to happen. They force the hand of the defense. They force perfect execution on the dirt from the outfield. There's just no time to waste. It's hard to catch a breath against a team like that.
It's like a basketball team that presses you
exactly
the whole
right.
game.
Yeah. It's suffocating. That's the only word that really comes to mind.
You can't take the ball up the court nonchalantly. They're on you the whole game.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that catch from Lilio, but could it be better in order to keep that runner off third? I think the answer is yes.
South Carolina trying to keep the spirits up. Trailing 4-1. Duke has just played all the right cards here tonight. The 3-1 to Jones. Fouls that one our way. Love the addition that Jones has been in this lineup, hitting better than 400. Did not go and draws the walk.
It's the first walk we've seen out of the hand of Hurd. That barrel stays back. It's a good hold.
KK Mathis, speaking of home run power, hit 2 home runs over the weekend against Cal, and this one down the right field line, and that is just foul. KK Mathis, a home run in 3 of her last 4 games. Began the year 1 for 11. Now 4 straight games with an RBI. Nearly had another one there.
The infield shift, Shelton playing on the other side as second base. If you're Mathis, you know exactly what you're going to see. We've seen it the past 3 pitches. Low and in, low and in, low and in. That's the one thing with shifts as a hitter. If you can get out of the pressure of needing it to go a certain direction and use the information you're given, it's almost a show of cards.
She goes outside, and Mathis punches this one to right. Over to make the catch is McKnight to retire the side. But not before Duke answers with another run. It's 4-1 visitors. Cassidy Curd has pitched in and out of trouble tonight.
You know, only 2 Ks, but in big moments. That one bases loaded against the freshman, and then McKnight with 2 on. At times, she has struggled to stay in the zone. That 1 run that South Carolina scored was on a wild pitch, but look at this. I mean, she has been so strong when her back was against the wall. Threw that no-hitter against Cal.
Yeah, that no-hitter against Cal. The 4th solo no-hitter in Duke program history. You can hear the barking. It is bark in the park night.
Bach in the park.
And South Carolina looking for some positivity.
That's a good one. You've been on a roll.
Scratch that one off the list. Look at that. Can you get the dogs more attention than when you're holding food? Carly Shelton at the plate. First pitch swinging. That is slugged to right field and off the wall. Shelton into second base. She'll hold there with a leadoff double.
The exit velo alone on that contact is enough to get you juiced up. This is off the wall. If that had been just a few feet higher, I think we would have seen her touch them all. He just smashed. First pitch she sees, up and in, pull side. That is power alley for Shelton.
Coach calls her the diesel engine of this team. Carly Shelton, intense all the time. Ariana Rhodey intently staring in, trying to drive her teammate Shelton in. 2-0.
6 left on base for South Carolina. They've been in some key situations where they were not able to cash it in. And against a Duke defense that has given them some free passes, whether that's walks, couple errors at third base.
Rhodey to left, but right into the mitt of the left fielder, Matthews.
Looks like we got a new third baseman, too. I think. We do. Baker standing in at third.
Mia Burgess is actually playing left field now, coming in for Matthews. Ground ball to third. Dropped at first base.
The free passes continue. The story unfolds. I mean, this is now the third error we've seen from Duke tonight. Third base just get tested over and over. This should have been caught at first base. Stafford unable to keep it in the web.
It's Jada Baker now at third base, not Tyrena Jones. So Jones is out. Baker is in at third, and there's something about that hot corner tonight. Third error tonight, but that was on the first baseman. Dropped by Stafford, and we'll see if South Carolina can cash in. We've seen a plethora of errors at third.
This was Jones at third off the heel of the glove, just getting eaten up in the back of her stance, having to move across instead of up through those ground balls. So just bad hops.
Tori Ensley, who made it happen in the third, hitting a double, advancing to third on a wild pitch, and scoring on a wild pitch. I'll try to make things happen the old-fashioned way. Drive in her teammates here. Ensley fisting that one near the net, and that stays in. That did not hit the net that time, as the first baseman Stafford collects a huge second out. Another failed attempt with runners in scoring position. And now Tate Davis. Actually, it's Hovermail, excuse me, at the plate. Alyssa Hovermail walked and flew out in this game. In there for a strike. Just misses for a ball.
Curd really wanted that call.
Fouled away, 2-2. We have seen Cassidy Curd come up with some big pitches with runners in scoring position. South Carolina still looking for that big hit. The 2-2 to Hovermail.
she's lived on that side of the plate against Hovermail. Curveball, curveball, curveball. She's worked it high and low, but she has stayed away the outer half of the zone.
South Carolina 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The 2-2. Looked like it went off her foot. They're still going to play it. The home plate umpire not making a call. And that's the end of the inning. You got to think. Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard coming out to have a conversation, and they're going to talk it over. Clearly that hit her foot, and Hovermail wasn't even moving after she hit that softball. Cameron Ellison, the home plate umpire. Mark Brown, the first base umpire. Monique McMurray.
South Carolina is challenging whether the ball hit off of the batter. The play is under review.
It's unfortunate you have to challenge there, but they should be successful. Close.
Barely off the toe, if any. I don't know that there's going to be enough there. You can see the dirt. You can see the specks of dirt. I don't know that there's going to be enough here to overturn it.
That's quite an angle. Can you see the foot move? Not because of the softball. It's interesting, Aaron, because you're not going to judge on the replay the reaction from the batter. You're strictly looking at where the ball hit.
That's exactly right.
And Duke did the right thing. Play it. Everyone looking at the scoreboard and the replay. It's being shown multiple times here at Carolina Softball Stadium. I mean, how can you tell from that angle?
That's a really good look by our crew. I mean, the only really definitive thing you can see there is that it does indeed hit the dirt. You can see the ricochet dirt. I don't know that you can prove that there was contact.
It's hard to see a ricochet of
the foot of a shoe.
A ricochet, there is none that you can decipher.
Yeah, that's a tough break, though. What I can tell you from personal experience is if she did not feel that hit the shoe, you would have seen that reaction.
That's correct. Here's the replay, the review.
After review, the call stands. The runner is not hit on the ball.
That's tough. That's tough. You got to think Hovermail felt something, which is why she stopped. But it's also why you keep running until you're told something else. Tough break for South Carolina. What? How is that possible? 4-1 Duke. It's Duke looking for some more runs here as we enter the top of the 6th inning in a very important midweek game between a pair of top 25 teams. South Carolina coming off a weekend sweep at the hands of Texas. And Duke coming off a 3-game sweep of the Cal Golden Bears out west. Jayla Stafford at the plate. A single and a strikeout tonight. She did score in that 2nd inning. Jory Hurd has done a nice job. Came in at a tough spot in that 1st inning. We had 3 batters. 3 consecutive batters with base hits to lead off the game for Duke as Stafford leads off this game in the 6th inning. Leads off the 6th inning with a ground out.
She's really just been buying time, has taken care of her business. The off speed has looked good. You heard Coach Chastain Woodard mention the command, the ability to hit corners, hit spots. The offense just hasn't been able to respond for her yet.
Kyrie Rodriguez at the plate. Hurd came in the second inning for South Carolina. She's gone 4 innings. A walk, an earned run, 2 strikeouts. Gave up a double. One of the 2 hits she's allowed. 7-8-9 here. The 8-hole hitter Rodriguez grounds to short. Anderson up with it. Solid defensively for the Gamecocks. 2 down in the 6th. Jory Hurd pretty efficient through those 4 innings, 4 1/3 now. Nine-hole hitter Adeline Matthews swinging a miss, 0-2. Matthews has really come on. They call her Addie from Tallahassee, Florida. 2 for 3 on Sunday with a home run, a double, a couple of runs scored. Has earned her time tonight playing left field. Moved to right field in the last inning. The 1-2 to Addie Matthews. Shelton. Off the glove, a little wide throw. Rhodey tags her out. You saw Matthews make a little bit of a turn and had to dive back into the base. That's a heads-up play by Rhodey at first.
You know, it's important to know that because of that safety bag, Adeline has to touch the white bag, not the green. So you notice she dives
Ruling
back.
on the field is that the batter runner is out at first base. Duke is challenging the call on the field.
They're going to challenge that tag, but I got to note that detail because of that introduction of the safety bag. I think a lot of viewers don't know those details yet. She turns into fair territory. She's got to come back to the white bag.
Even though she didn't hit the white bag.
Green bag is out of play.
Yep.
Exactly.
And she did. She knew what to do. She just couldn't get there in time. I think it was a great tag. It's a great tag.
What a great look here from our crew. Yeah,
it shouldn't take long.
Yeah, this should be definitive.
Not going for the runner, just putting it in front of the base.
Let her slide right into it.
So that will go down likely as an error on the third baseman, and then you don't get a cleanup error or a cleanup defensive play, but she does erase the runner as we're waiting for confirmation here. A reached on error, but don't really get to reach. Here's the call.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out. Duke has 1 challenge remaining.
So they lose a base runner and a challenge. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. South Carolina running out of time. Still looking for that first loss. We'll try and avoid it again tonight. What a start to the year.
And that's what I've got my eye on. That's a team, too, Bama, that's kind of stubbed their toe early the past few seasons, but always makes a tough run in postseason.
23-0.
Yeah, wow.
Tennessee also undefeated. 2 of 3 undefeated teams in Division I. Grand Canyon the other. 7, 8, and 9 due up for South Carolina. Winters right back up the box and a leadoff base hit. The 5th of the night for the Gamecocks. Comes at a good time here in the 6th.
Third time today that they've had the lead off on. Man, this has been the tale of just a lot of opportunities for South Carolina, and they have not been able to capitalize. 3 errors defensively for Duke. It hasn't been for a lack of chances.
See a pinch hitter now for Shea Anderson. And it will be Natalie Heath. Her 9th game of action here this year, hitting .429. Of course, it's 3 for 7 with 4 runs batted in. And a key spot here for Heath as we look in the bullpen for Duke and find Larissa Hawkins out of Eagle Pass, Texas. Her first season with Duke after transferring in from Incarnate Word. We'll see how short of a leash Cassidy Curd has here. Ansley Bennett pinch running at first for Winters. Looks at the first pitch for a ball. The chips starting to move to the middle of the table here for South Carolina. Running out of outs. Making some changes, trying to capitalize. The time is now. 1-0 to Heath. 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position in South Carolina tonight.
That was the pitch.
They were 1 for 16 in the weekend series against Texas with runners at second and third. The 1-1 to Heath. High and inside, 2-1. Nice pitch there from Curd. The 2-2 to Heath. Hitter. Her 3rd hit by pitch of the season for Heath.
This has been the only smudge on the evening for Curd. It's been a little bit of control issues. At times, the free bases have been errant. The 1 run on the board is because of that wild pitch. And now, another free bag awarded to pinch hitter Heath.
And now a pinch hitter in the 9-hole. It'll be Janie McKay. Hitting 172 on the season. She is 5 for 29. In there for a strike. The senior out of California. The 0-1. 0-2 now to McKay. Cassidy Curd, couple of walks, some free bases from a couple of errors as well outside of her control. This would be a big first out before they turn the lineup over. The 0-2. The 0-2 to McKay. Just outside, 1-2. Down goes McKay. 1 out.
She's faced 3 different batters in that 9-hole, and she's set them all down the same way. That's the 3rd strikeout of the evening for Curd, and it comes at a big time.
Third strikeout of the night for Curd, all of them coming to the 9-hole hitter. Now we've got the leadoff hitter, Quincy Lelio, who has left 5 on base tonight. Including with the bases loaded in the 4th when she flew out to the warning track in right. 2 on here. 2-0. Oh for 3 tonight. The 2-0 to Lelio. 2-1. Lelio drives this one to right center field, and that is caught. Matthews with the catch. My goodness, they cannot buy a hit with runners in scoring position.
She has had such solid contact, a sweet, smooth swing all evening long, and nothing has fallen her way.
Lelio has left 7 on base here tonight, but a couple of really good swings. One to the track and one tracked down in right center. The leadoff and 9-hole hitters have left a combined 14 on base. Big spot here for Shelton, 1-1. Coach Chastain Woodard saying this is the best player all around whenever she's on the field. Says she wishes she could have 2 or 3 more of her. Carly Shelton hoping she can drive in 2 or 3 runs. She's got 3 home runs on the season. She does represent the tying run.
We saw the double from Shelton back in the 5th. There is just an extra sauce that this young lady has at the plate. Spark plug in the 2-hole.
There's the C on her jersey. And the captains here on this team. The 2-2. That one right into the glove of Vega at second. A couple of fine defensive plays this inning for Duke, highlighted by Vega.
This one, Vega gloves it in that 3-4 hole. That gets him out of the jam. South Carolina is still unsuccessful.
Third, 4 2/3, couple of hits, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. As she came in the 2nd inning and really calmed things down there in the circle. And now Emma Friedel will try to pick up where Hurd left off in her first season with South Carolina. Previous 2 seasons with Kennesaw State. What are we going to see from Emma?
A lot of vertical separation, some late break, late life through the zone, high swing and miss rate.
Top of the order up for Duke, Deanna Jennings. Reached base twice. Leadoff double in the first inning. Wound up scoring the first run of the game. The program's all-time hits leader. Now at 261. Full count now to the leadoff batter, Jennings. Earned one of the 2 captain spots this offseason. And that one right over the outstretched arms of Anderson at short. Second hit of the night for Deanna Jennings. And hit number 262 of her career. Brings up Amina Vega, who has been one of the heroes tonight for Duke. Singled and scored in the first. Doubled and scored in the 5th. Had a great tag up from second to third and then eventually scored. Vega stays back on that off-speed pitch. Puts it over the center fielder Ensley's head. Heading into third as Vega gets by the third baseman. Vega's going to come home and she will score. Jennings scored easily. And Vega with some heads-up base running got to third easily, and then the throw went past the third baseman, Davis. And Vega scores for the 3rd time tonight.
Just feels video game-like, especially for Jennings and Vega. They work so well together. You feel like their energy plays into each other. When they find their way on, they make things happen. This one's such a strong, smooth cut through the middle of the zone. Vega blasts this off the wall, and Ensley just misplays it. You'd like to see her make that easy bounce off the outfield wall. Why challenge this throw at third base? Get it into the infield, walk it to the pitcher if you have to. There's no reason to take that risk throwing all the way into 3. I mean, it's shown itself now for 7 innings that Duke is going to make every throw count.
The error on the left fielder, Lelio. So Vega, now a home run shy of the cycle, gets the triple and scores on the error. And it is 6-1 Duke. Nobody out here in the 7th. And this is the kind of game that will not do wonders for the morale of South Carolina. Something that Ashley Chastain-Woodard mentioned, just trying to keep things positive here with South Carolina after the weekend sweep. Trying to take the pressure off of the team in a lot of different ways and having a lot of one-on-one conversations with players to help them from the neck up and breathe more confidence into individual players. Might be some more one-on-ones after this one. Jessica Oakland lifts this one to left. Lelio makes the catch. they lost a lot of not only talent but leadership last year.
Yeah. 3 captains, just a huge exiting class. Abigail Knight, Ella Chansey, a captain who's now on staff with this squad. Emily Vinson, Brooke Blankenship, another captain, and of course Sam Gress in the circle, just a hero arm for them.
Layla Lamar at the plate for Duke. 1 for 3 tonight. That one fouled down the right field line. Well, Duke and South Carolina have been battle tested. We mentioned some of those non-conference games. Duke had wins over A&M, LSU, and Oklahoma State in Clearwater. Lost to Georgia and Missouri. Then went out to California and lost to Oregon, UCLA, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M, part of a 5-game losing skid that was capped off by home losses to ECU and Boston U.
It's a tough mix.
They've picked themselves up.
I know. It's for both of these squads. I feel like they got tested early this season, and by design. Both of these head coaches planned for that.
Coach Chastain Woodard saying, I feel like we've played a half-dozen super regional games already. World Series games.
That's why she mentioned morale to us both. It's hard when you keep stepping into the ring to fight some of the toughest fighters early. Last year they were able to walk away with some of those wins.
Lilio trying to give chase and cannot catch up to it. Layla Lamar heading into second base. A stand-up double. A single, a triple, and a double here in this 7th inning for Duke.
This has been a tough half inning here for Friedel. In the circle, she has tried to splice up this strike zone. The movement just not big enough against these bats, especially the top half of this order. Remember, we mentioned the top half hitting above 400. They see the ball so well. You just have to have precision against these bats.
Think about this Duke program and how Coach Young has built this program. The 3rd full season in 2021, not counting 2020. Won the program's first ACC championship as that one goes off of Friedel's leg and another runner advances, reaches base.
It's like that one hit off the end of Jones' bat.
Just flared. You felt like Friedel had time to make the play, but let's take another look. Might have caught her off guard.
Excuse me, that was Baker at the plate. Yeah, this.
Baker, yes.
This was off the end of the bat. I think that's why she struggled to perceive how fast the ball was moving towards her.
And it is a base hit for Baker.
Now Burgess stepping in.
Maya Burgess, the junior who played much more last year than she is this year in terms of getting starts and getting time in the field. But as Coach said, it's a meritocracy, and Adeline Matthews has certainly earned that time. But Burgess is one of those upperclassmen leaders, and Coach said she'll see herself back in that lineup eventually. South Carolina just trying to find 2 more outs here in the 7th. Burgess goes down swinging. Nice strikeout there for Friedel. Kayla Stafford with a hit to her name tonight with a run scored. Facing Emma Friedel in her first season with South Carolina. Certainly be counted on more next year, but she's been allowed to kind of pitch in the background with Neely and especially Jory leading the way. They're saying she's in the development phase of her career in her junior year. That one outside, 2 balls.
And just has to keep getting opportunities. Really, that's the biggest thing for Chastain Woodard, is just waiting for that breakthrough. And the only way she can see it or develop that breakthrough is continuing to give her chances to show it.
Fourteen new faces here on this South Carolina team. And a team that was programmed that was just a win away from the College World Series last year. Stafford grounds out to end the inning. Last chance for the Gamecocks. 6-1 deficit for the home team. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up. Cassidy Curd hasn't struck out a bunch, but they've come at huge moments, Aaron.
Yeah, she really has spiced up this zone. The fact that she can move the ball east to west from that left side has really posed a challenge for South Carolina. You know, she hasn't been perfect. I think you and I can both speak to that at times. She's missed wide out of the zone, but when it's mattered, she's been able to deliver.
Matt Chick, Aaron Miller here with you. Duke with a 6-1 lead on South Carolina. Alabama and Samford are already underway. That game can be found on SEC Network Plus. We'll bring it to you right here when we are done. See if Alabama can improve on their 23-0 start. South Carolina 0-3 in the SEC. 15-9 overall. They've taken their lumps. And certainly at Bark at the Park night, it has been a rough night for South Carolina. The 2-1 to Rhodey. Boy, she mixes up those speeds.
She does. The differential is really nice when she can spot the off speed. I think when the curveball becomes even more effective.
Pitch number 100 for Curd. Rhodey to right. Duke is just in the right place every single time. Nice catch by Addie Matthews. 1 away. Tori Ensley at the plate. First pitch strike from Curd. That one flared out of play. South Carolina had won 7 of 8 prior to their weekend series with Texas. South Carolina will be at Coastal Carolina coming up tomorrow. before welcoming in Boston College this weekend. The 0-2 from Curd.
See, that's the miss I think we saw late from her. Doesn't happen often.
Why do you think that happened?
I don't know.
It's happened a few times.
It has. It's not for a lack of focus. She's looked sharp through 103 pitches.
Did she go? She did not. 2-2. Crowd still cheering, dogs still barking. You're at Bark at the Park night. Bunch of canine friends. Look at that, getting a nice drink there. That one is pounded to deep right center field, and that one is gone. Tori Ensley with her 5th home run of the season. She's provided all the offense tonight.
Wow. Double and scored on the pass ball out of the hand of Curd, and then she gets this one done herself here in the 7th. A solo shot, deepest part of the field. This one's up and away. This is not a bad pitch. It's the same case when she doubled. Curd threw low for the double. This one high away, and she sends it into right center field. Nice piece right there.
Still some diesel left in that engine. Tori Ensley getting a big hug there from Heath, her 5th home run of the year. And her 22nd run batted in. Kate Davis will look to keep it going. Tori Ensley tonight, by the way, 2 for 4, a couple of runs scored, and an RBI. All other South Carolina Gamecocks, 4 for 24. No RBI, of course. Tate Davis to short. Oakland got it, 2 down. One out away here from Duke, extending their win streak to 7 games. They will host Virginia Tech this weekend, and I'm sure they're looking forward to getting some rest between now and then. Alyssa Hovermail, the last hope for South Carolina, in there for a strike, 1-1. Overmail to right. Matthews, the freshman. She's made a few plays today and puts that can of corn away. And that is the 100th road win for Duke in program history, Aaron.
It's a complete night for Duke. Takes the red eye, comes out to Columbia, South Carolina, needs to get this ranked win, and they do.
For Aaron Owens, our producer, Brian, who did a great job with our stats tonight, we now send you to Tuscaloosa. Lowell Galindo, Kat Osterman on the call. So long from Columbia.